Newsletter February 2024. Justice on the Earth. Be blessed, dear souls embodied on the earth. In this month of February 2024, the Justice's bell rings in all fields thanks to a greater awakening of a growing number of human beings whose active positioning is stronger. The vibratory rays of mankind makes it possible for human justice to be more influenced by divine justice. And it is shown at an individual level with the victory of the just and the spreading of truth. I will start by taking the example of my channel, who was victorious at court at first and then on appeal, showing that the justice on the earth is receptive to the infusion of the divine justice. This resounding and total victory set a precedent in the French law by giving free access to spirituality as well as the right for every human being connected to a light being to channel him, her, freely if she has clear hearing. And this puts a final end among the awakened beings to any attempt of rivalry, jealousy, or financial gain, which are deviated states distorting pure spirituality by putting it under the yoke of money, hoarding, and ego. Indeed, how can awakened beings show the example if they are not themselves aligned with the divine laws and carry in their sway of allegiance to the divine plan human beings who listen to them, trust and follow them, so that they can, in their turn, spread the truth, knowledge, and the way to reach ascension? The responsibility is heavy for any beings who channel ascended masters or light being and who then distort the teachings they receive for their own interest. May all of you be aware of that. A human being who has been chosen to be the channel of an ascending master or light being cannot pretend to transmit a divine teaching and at the same time claim the intellectual property during a court action on the earth by saying that she is the owner of the character created by one's imaginations and for the need of one's professional activity. The paradox and duality of the actors of the new world are over. From now on, light workers will continue their way together. They will share and be in complementarity thanks to networking, which obeys the divine principle of the sacred circle. Every member of this divine sacred circle is entitled to recognition, respect, and the right to express oneself and act in a fair way. And the pyramid system belonging to duality will no longer exist. The energy on your planet is changing, and likewise, some light workers who have taken their stand, denouncing the absurdity of the system in place, are cleared in the sense that what the governing leaders and other deviant beings reproached to them is now publicly contradicted by some recent scientific discoveries, as well as by objective facts that the population can see concretely with their own eyes in their daily life about their surroundings, family, or people they know. Let's take the example of the medical field, where some professors of medicine, French or foreigners, coming from all continents, were condemned for having denounced the truth about viruses and who have been rehabilitated by justice, and now they can feel free to tell more about all the manipulations and deviances in the field of medical science. The same goes for the political field, with some French and or European deputies denouncing the absurdity and corruption of some leaders, thus underlining the absolute necessity of using one's own discernment, which makes it possible to know who is who, and so to leave aside the false prophets in order to follow the true and new leaders aligned with the divine plan, conveying optimism, Christ values, and an ardent thirst for justice. The same goes also for the army, where some officers, captains and colonels, rise up against irregularities, injustices, and corruption by publicly revealing them to the people and human justice, which is more and more supervised by divine justice, thanks to fairer magistrates who are infused more easily by divine energy. And finally, the same goes for climatologists, where some of them smartly refute false dogmas such as men, that you call the common run of people, are the ones responsible for climate change, whereas it has been proved that climate changes because, first, the planet has reached the end of a 26,000 years cycle, which is a moment of conclusion, with a kind of assessment and then verdict. Either the global vibration of mankind rises and there is a shift towards a positive evolution, or the global vibration of mankind remains too low and there is a shift towards a negative evolution. That's why I earnestly ask you to maintain your efforts to keep your stand in allegiance of the divine plan in order to tip the scales towards the positive side, in order to trigger the shift towards the new world. And I ask you to reinforce your prayers of encouragement towards your Earth Mother, who brings you abundance and who needs your love so much in return. And secondly, climate changes because the evil plans of the dark forces manipulate the climate elements to serve their own interest only. By using geoengineering, it is easy for them to dry out some regions in Spain and Occitan region, and in many places all over the world, by moving some clouds towards places of the planet which were desert up to now, and today having luxuriant vegetation thanks to rains that come down anormally. Their action on climate disturbances also consists in triggering earthquakes, floods, and fires where they want, and contempt for respect to the populations and to the living. That's why I strongly invite you to connect you always more intensely with the essential beings of nature who need your support, encouragements, and your trust. Indeed, the essential beings of the clouds are so busy dealing with chemtrails coming from planes and many waves sowing disorder, disharmony, and diseases. The water sprites coming from the seas, lakes, rivers, and ice from ice fields located in the two poles of the planet are exhausting themselves, working to harmonize the levels and quality of water. The giants of the mountain are doing their best to manage the glaciers and erosion. The essential beings of the earth are striving and giving all the energy they have to counter intensive deforestation and all the standardized cultures impregnated with toxic and chemical pesticides at the detriment of biodiversity. I express the wish that your most beautiful energy goes to the essential beings of nature in order to encourage and thank them from the deepest of your soul, and ask them to continue to take care of glaciers, ice fields, oceans, forests, and help them to succeed in their mission of keeping the balance of the Earth Mother. Every day, take a moment to connect yourself to the elements, air and wind, the sun, the earth, and the sand, and tell them with all your heart that you love them. Connect yourself to the world of nature, who needs so much your affection and your pure benevolence. It is not their force or action which are too weak. It is just the global vibration of the humans which is still too low, preventing mankind to be joined to the elements of nature, which could trigger the shift towards the new world of beauty by beings all united, all together. From the deepest of your soul, pray Father, Mother God, to call for divine help in abundance on the planet, so that it could touch the greatest number of human beings and trigger more awareness and saving positioning. By doing so, you will be an efficient relaying element of the team, allowing the help of the beings coming from Venus, the Pleiades, Arcturus, and Agartha in the intra-earth, in their support to the essential beings of nature in their work to safeguard your planet. Your grounding to the earth and your daily meditations will make it possible for new leaders to emerge among mankind. They will be fair and unselfish, only animated in their heart by the will to establish divine justice and beauty on the earth. From where we stand, we are adjusting ourselves to what's going on your planet, and in total respect of your free will, we infuse you with divine energy so that it can guide you in the right direction. That's up to the humans to absorb or not this powerful energy. For example, your friends is having now movements of farmers revolting themselves. After Germany, then Spain, France is now joining the process. This revolt of the farming field finally denounces with strength all the dysfunctioning of an agriculture completely obeying the measures of a European technocracy, which does not care at all about the well-being of farmers, nor about healthy food being given to the population. This European elite obeys the dictates of the dark forces by making farmers completely dependent upon subsidies, which apparently seem a financial help at an individual level, but which are in reality a poison by suppressing the liberty of each farmer to act according to practical good sense and making them forgive all the farming know-how inherited by long family line. So they are misled into thinking they take the biscuit represented by subsidies. This drives to the soil being sick, harvests being completely poisoned by pesticides, and their cattle ill-treated. And yet, with all their heart, people from the country love their meadows, their fields, trees, hedges, farmyards, and animals. Like for the other professional activities, the farmer field yielded to fear and manipulation, and now they are trapped in this enslaving system which has no respect for the living. Far from judging them, may all of you give your support and show solidarity to our farmers. Help them dare say no to European dictates so that they can find again the true love they have always felt for their land and animals. It is essential to be united among their professional corporation and supported by all the population in order to say no to the establishment. Long live this trustful leitmotif, all united for justice, equality, liberty and brotherhood. It is time for a united people whose positive and pure power knows which decisions to take with wisdom and in respect of the living. You are now at a time where divine justice begins to come down on the earth. Divine justice only asks to help and reinforce you by infusing you with good ideas and leading you to the victory of happiness. For doing this, divine justice needs your cooperation and your complete stand in alignment with the divine laws. If you choose it with all the strength of your soul, your earth will evolve towards the new world of the fifth dimension, smoothly paving the way for a world which looks like ours, where we are, in this highest level of divine energy, also called heaven. Be blessed, dear souls, embodied on the earth. Be blessed for your open heart and consciousness. Be blessed, dear beings. You are much helped and loved. Christ Al Shaya.